about AT, and hope you can imagine, and I imagine you can, if it was your family, if it was your child or grandchild, or someone that you care about as well. And so, being personal, I give a lot of speeches in my line of work. And I'm actually a politician. Pause for booing. And so now that you all hate me because I'm a politician, it was November of 2013. And I was actually in the middle of a nationally targeted congressional campaign. So very, very busy at the time. And since I wasn't introduced as congressman, you might imagine how it turned out. But I was in the middle of the campaign, and believe it or not, was actually in the middle of doing fundraising phone calls for my campaign, which is, as now that you have done some fundraising as well, you know how painful that can be at times. And I got a call from my wife. Our youngest son, Jack, has always had some balancing issues. He was slow to walk, had trouble walking, would fall over. When he was sitting, he was constantly rocking back and forth. And it was originally diagnosed as minor cerebral palsy, which we now know a lot of AT cases are originally misdiagnosed. Because it's so rare, doctors don't initially jump to a rare disease as a diagnosis. And we had done some genetic testing. I think some voluntary genetic testing over a year before that. And so it was November of 2013, a few days before Thanksgiving. And my wife, Chelsea, got a call about the genetic testing had come back. It had taken that long to get through, the amount of genetic testing that they were doing. And they said, the lady who called said, we got a diagnosis, we found out something about your son, but I can't tell you. Personally, I have to talk to a doctor, and they have to tell you. And Chelsea said, well, what can you tell me? And she said, I can't tell you anything. I can just tell you that there's no treatment or no cure for it. So that's what you want. And so it was right at Thanksgiving. And so we didn't get to talk to a doctor until after Thanksgiving. So we had several days of not knowing what was happening. And so imagine that you meet with your doctor, and he says that your son has a rare neurodegenerative disease. And the symptoms you're seeing now are going to progress. He won't be able to walk for the next few years. He's going to have trouble breathing and swallowing. And that his life expectancy is probably about 24. And so, it's a shock. You hear about things. You hear about plane crashes, you hear about all the things that happen. And you just don't expect that it's going to happen to your family. And it's going to be your son. It's supposed to happen to somebody else. It's not supposed to happen to you. And so since then, you have so many hopes and dreams for your children. You imagine what they're going to do. They're going to go to high school, they're going to go to college, they're going to do things. And all of that kind of comes tumbling down. And it hits you all at once. It's a degenerative disease that happens over time, and so you see the effects slowly over time. But in your mind as a parent, it all kind of happens at once. You see it all happen in one moment. And so since then, we've seen obviously the disease slowly progress. Jack's in pretty good shape, as you saw him run around stealing cookies. And there is a lot of hope, as Tim said. And since we've been educated, we've been fundraising as well, I think there is a lot to be hopeful about. There's really good research going on. There's a lot of other research into diseases that are very complementary as well. And, as we fundraise in this, and some of you may know when you read up on it, if we can find a cure for this disease, we're going to find and unlock the cure for a whole host of other diseases, neurodegenerative diseases a lot more common than AT, like AIDS, like Alzheimer's, like cancer. And so there's a lot of good things happening here. The best way I heard it described to me by a doctor was, with this disease, we know what point A is and we know what point B is. And point B is the cure and how we fix it. But we're just not quite sure how to get from point A to point B yet. That's what the research is doing. And, you know, incremental progress, even at this point, will do, is treatments for the symptoms. What can we do? If you look at other diseases like AIDS, we've made a lot of progress in treatment. We haven't found a cure yet, but we've had really good treatment and increased survivability. And that's what we need to do with AT. And that's exactly what your fundraising and your efforts goes towards. You know, for me, this is a selfish act. I'm a politician, so I guess that's just but for me, it's my son. It's my family. It impacts me and our family. And so fundraising, trying to find a cure, I was talking to somebody. I said, wow, that's really great. You're doing this fundraising for charity and research. You know, you should be really proud that you're doing that. And I said, I'm not, what else would I be doing? It happened to me. What I find most admirable is what you all are doing. Those of you who aren't impacted by this disease, who don't have children or grandchildren or friends or cousins who have this disease, you have compassion because you just see others. You didn't know them before. You didn't know Jack, you didn't know Ryder. But you're seeing suffering, you're seeing things that need to get better, and that we need to have hope for the future. And we need to make progress. And you're contributing to that. And that means a great deal to me. It means a great deal to my family. It means a great deal to the Rahals. And when we do find treatments and cures, we will all be indebted to you a great deal, and we probably can never repay that. So thank you for this. Thank you for everything that you're doing and your efforts. We really, really, really appreciate it. Let's keep going. Let's get it done. Thank you.